So in your conference, there'll be plenty of powerful and successful women, and yet the world is wondering whether America is ready for its first female president. What do you think?
They've been wondering for quite a long time. I mean, it keeps going around. It's getting a bit old.
It's about time, isn't it?
It sure is about time.
But is it going to happen?
About time. It could happen if the Republicans keep producing the comedy show that they've been doing for the last few months. You know, it is a lineup of absolute clowns. And I think if Hillary gets the nomination, she'll eat their lunch.
But is the problem with Hillary that she's, for the electorate, that she's a woman or that she's a Clinton, or perhaps both?
I think she's got a lot of baggage to deal with. Her story is not new, so the press are bored with her, which is a terrible thing, to be bored with a candidate, because, you know, they are looking all the time for kind of new bad angles just to make it fresh. She has the baggage of many, many years in politics. First lady, senator, you know, State Department. It's a lot of history.
So experience and wisdom set against baggage. Baggage wins out at the moment, doesn't it?
She's not a happy warrior as a campaigner. Never has been, never will be. Not a happy warrior. But if she gets the nomination, which I think she can, because she's still 10 points ahead of anybody else in the Democratic field, so she's likely, I think, to squeak through. And I think if she gets the nomination, I do think she'll be very strong against Republicans. She's very good when she's defining herself against Republicans. Not so good when she's kind of stumbling around trying to kind of be popular. That she doesn't do well.
Because, of course, here we've had Jeremy Corbyn, you know, all over Europe. There's been a sort of populist uprising against established, entitled politicians. I mean, she's got some of the same going on as well, hasn't she, with Bernie Sanders?
Yes.
Joe Biden possibly getting into the race?
Definitely there is a real energy at the moment around the outside candidates. You know, both Fiorina on the Republican side and Donald Trump. The reason there's excitement is because they're absolutely untainted by what people feel of as the kind of establishment baggage. On the other hand, wisdom is really regarded in the end when you come to the debates. I mean, for instance, in last week's debate, Trump descended in the polls because he clearly knew nothing, absolutely nothing. I mean, he's been doing a stand-up comedy.
Moment? I
think he's going to start. You're going to start to see every debate will take him down because, in the end, he looks foolish. He doesn't know anything.
And yet, astonishingly, and this must really rile you and the other women at the conference that you're going to be hosting, misogyny does still seem to sell in some American sectors of the election. I mean, what he said the other day about...
Misogyny is rampant everywhere. And that is actually one of the titles of one of our panels at the Women in the World Summit. It is, when is misogyny finally going to go? I mean, ultimately, it seems to get worse. I mean, and in fact, now it's been added to by the digital generation, which has become so aggressive and so hostile online. You're seeing all this angered men just pouring out their hatred. And it's very depressing. And, of course, misogyny is what leads so much of the abuse that's going on for women all over the world.
And do you think that the Republican female candidate, Fiorina, who does seem to be doing quite well in the polls, is doing enough, saying enough about that? Or
no,
is she
isn't.
cowed?
She isn't, actually. Well, she's not cowed, but she's decided not to play that particular card.
Is that a bad idea?
Well, she was good in the debate in that she had asperity. She cut Samson's hair, you know, in terms of Donald Trump. She took him down with a quick smack across the sort of, you know, with a bit of wit, which was pleasing. But I also think that she's not honest about the kind of challenges that face women. She's just not dealing with it. OK, obviously the fascination at the moment is still focused on Donald Trump. When he started his campaign, and I interviewed him a couple of years ago, we talked a little bit about this, and I really thought it was a joke that he might one day consider, as he has done before, actually running for president. But it's not a joke, is it? I mean, although he's had a bit of a clipping of the wings, he's still doing quite well. In a way, in the whole summer long, I think people have considered he's running a campaign. Actually, he's been doing stand-up. It's been almost performance art to see him sort of free associating, not even knowing himself what he's going to say next.
But it's worked in the polls.
It has worked in the polls, but I do think that his lack of knowledge of anything is going to rebound very, very quickly.
So he won't be the nominee?
No, he won't.
Got to leave it there. Tina Brown, thank you very much.
Thank you.